There is one thing you need to know about land before you buy or sell it, and it is so dang important. If you want to find out, then do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of this great content. Okay, so let's get into it. With land, it's all about what can you do with it. That dictates the value and what it can become. And I would say the number one thing that you need to know about land is what are the restrictions? Is it unrestricted or is it restricted? So, for restricted land, that typically means if it's in the city limits or something, it has some type of zoning. What is that zoning? Is it residential? Is it commercial? Those are the things you gotta figure out. It could be some mixed use, so something like for storage units, or mixed uses in like hotel or some other thing. So you need to know what can you do with the land. If it's in the city limits, there's probably some type of zoning. You need to figure out what that zoning is, because that really will dictate the value of the land. Another thing you need to think about is there any deed restrictions on the land? Deed restrictions, you need to look at it carefully. And it pretty much is from the previous owner potentially, or by anyone saying what you can or cannot do on that land, where it might say like, okay, there's a deed restriction saying you can't have a mobile home park. So you need to look at any deed restrictions or any zonings for property, because that really could dictate what you can do. And what you can do really determines the value of the property. So if you want to sell it for the most amount, you need to advertise the zoning, especially if it's attractive. And if you're buying it, you have to do your due diligence to make sure that the zoning complies with what you want to do. And that's the whole point of the feasibility period when you're buying any land, which is the amount of time before your earnest money goes hard and you're really committing to buy the land, is what are all the things that can do with it without having to make a firm commitment on it. So you need to know the deed restrictions and the zoning. I cannot stress that enough. Just because it's not in the city limits, it doesn't mean it doesn't have any type of zoning. Even in the counties, there are still rules about what you can and cannot do on the property. So read them up. And you might even be surprised. A lot of things I'm selling recently have been lots, but also large acreages. There is zoning restrictions on those, so you need to pay attention. Small, whether it's half an acre or to 100 acres, there's generally some type of zoning or deed restriction of some kind. But sometimes when it's out in the county in the rural areas, anything goes. But you need to find that out for sure. Other than location, it is the number one thing you need to know about land. It really drives the value. I know I've said it a couple times, but it matters so much. So I'm putting out a lot of videos about land. That's a lot of what I do, is I buy and sell land, kind of work as an investor. I work as a land developer. I help other people buy land. It's so important. There's so much of it in Texas. And so that's what I've become an expert in. So do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of this great content. Thanks, guys.